Ooh, you can already see it. Packaging's kind of on the weekend. I didn't really see any sort of padding or anything, just this plastic, but seems to be undamaged and ready to go. I went ahead and taken off the focus, the radiator stays on both sides, as well as the Phillips head and the metal bracket that runs along the front of the bumper, because this carbon fiber piece actually takes the place of that metal bracket. If you're curious about this carbon fiber piece, it's single carbon construction, so no fiberglass here, just straight carbon, and then gel coated. I might clear this in the future, but right now I don't think it's going to see much UV since it will be under the hood. It just fits like so. Get back to you in a second. So I've increased the area where air comes into the airbox, gutted the airbox itself, Canon filter, and then just for good measure I got an AUT cooling plate. So for a mini review for this AUT cooling plate, there were a bunch of holes that I had to clearance. The bolt hole for the radiator stay was too small on that side as well as this side, and all of these were too small, so I had to clearance those with the Dremel. Just use a Dremel, and also a face mask, just because you don't want to be breathing in fiberglass and resin dust. And this area had to be clearanced a tiny bit, but after that everything fit pretty well and snug, and I think this will be the best mod you can do utilizing the stock airbox. Hey guys, just a quick review on the Autotecknic AUT cooling plate. Overall the piece is very nice. It's single layer carbon. One side and the other side is pretty dry, but this side has a nice resin on it. Finish is great, great polish. The only thing is that the bolt holes are too small. So depending on your car, you might have some fitment issues there. You might have to use a Dremel and a face mask to just, you know, clearance the holes a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, just so your bolts can fit in. On this particular one, I had a little bit of fitment issue, if you can see around on this hood prop, you would say, I guess. So I had to Dremel underneath here a little bit, but you can't see it because the rubber kind of covers it a little bit. This bolt also needed to be clearanced a bit. Obviously the radiator stay covers that. The radiator stay covers what I clearanced here, and I did not need to clearance here since I clearanced everywhere else. But depending on your car, pretty nice. There's no interference here. Tolerances are pretty tight. It actually just barely goes over this side and this side, just enough room. Nothing hits here, but when you put it on, your hood handle might actually rub here a little bit, but once you install it, there's no touching at all. It's just something that you will run into when installing. Everything else is pretty nice. Because I did this airbox mod right here, it's a little bit more aggressive than the makers of this cooling plate figured I would do. It's supposed to go over a stock airbox, but because I modified this, I had to shim this a little bit, but that clearance was only because I did this airbox mod. So for stock airboxes, I don't think you have to worry too much. Overall, if you see any imperfections, it's probably just the dust or it's fingerprints from me installing it. So I don't see any other thing. Hope this helps you guys with, hopefully this helps you guys with deciding whether or not you want to go and purchase this. I got mine off of eBay, and yeah, have a nice day guys.